What up, bros? Today I'm going to be discussing the two cameras that I use to capture gig logs as well as content creation for Instagram and TikTok. And those two cameras are the Action 5 Pro along with the Insta360 X5. Now, before we get into these cameras, let's talk about why cameras matter. Why cameras matter, of course, you need footage to showcase to your potential clients. Without you documenting your events, you can't let potential clients know that you are in fact a go-to DJ. The second reason why these cameras matter is that it's really good for you to break down your game footage. Now, almost all professional athletes review their game footage, they're looking at their mechanics, they're looking at their forms of how to improve, and you should take that same concept to DJing. While you're recording your events, you can see certain routes you took, what song selections you did, and you can make adjustments for the following event. All right, now with that out of the way, let's get into the Action 5. All right, so for the Action 5, I absolutely love this camera. If you guys watch my gig logs, you know I'm always trying to put some weird angles on the screen, and this allows me to do that. You can pretty much place this anywhere without really having to worry. Now, this camera is very similar to a GoPro, but I think it has better features, and I'll get into those. So looking at the camera specs, this thing can shoot in 4K up to 24 to 60 frames, even 120 frames per second, and that is pretty solid. It's very easy to control, has easy manual auto modes, and that's something for a beginner that you don't have to really think too hard, just set it and forget it. But if you're a little more advanced, you can shoot in manual modes, and that is where I think this camera can shine. This camera has helped me learn manual settings, things like shutter speed, ISO, and log footage. Log footage allows you to color grade your videos a little better and really give you that cinematic look that you might be looking for. Now, the battery life is going to vary depending on which mode you're shooting in, but I find that I can get about 3 or 4 hours without having to switch the battery out. And when I do have to switch the battery out, it's no worries. I have a battery pack of 3 here, so that allows me to just easily switch and swap out. But you can also buy a charging stick for it. What I also like about this camera is that I have, it's very easy, it's magnetic. As you can see, it can just kind of magnetically snap on and you're ready to go. And I use this just about for like all my storytelling or just documenting a wide angle. Now, I've even used this with vertical content, shooting up and down, and for some of my Instagram reels as well. Now, another thing that makes this camera shine is all the accessories that you can get with it, and I'll get into those a little bit later, kind of like this little clamp here that can go on your backpack. It's also magnetic, you can stick it on a wall. So lots of various options for this little camera. Okay, so now let's jump into the Insta360. Now, I have the latest X5 version, and I am truly amazed at the quality and just the 360 footage that you can get. This shoots all the way up to 8K. I would say the low light performance might be slightly better than my Action 5. Now, they both have low light settings, but the cool thing about this one is that it has like an automatic detection. So it will tell you that it needs to go in low light setting performance, and so that really helps out. Versus this one, I have to manually set that. Now, I don't really use this for my gig logs on YouTube. This I use mainly for TikTok and Instagram Reels, which are perfect for going viral and things like that. Now, the package I got came with this little tripod stand here, and it just screws on and then you're good to go. I do recommend getting this a little bit higher so you can kind of see down from the crowd versus at an eye level. Now, one thing to note, there is a little bit of a learning curve with the Insta360. You gotta kind of figure out how to manipulate those angles that you want. But once you learn that, it's pretty easy, but it will take some time. It does take a long time to kind of go through all your footage and just kind of like review what parts you want. So that does take a while. Also, the file sizes are really big because you're capturing the whole area. All right, now let's talk about my favorite part, all the accessories that you can get for these cameras. Now, both these cameras can come with like creative combos, and that's what I purchased. That's what they came with, this little tripod and extending rod, and as well as the cover for the glass. But one of the first accessories I recommend are the extra batteries. Now, I have extra batteries for my 360 and for my Action 5. Between both batteries, I can get about 6 hours from this, and with all three, I can get about 12 hours with this. Now, I discussed it earlier, but all the various mounting options that you'll want to get, I have like these two, as well as 2 other clips that I can use to just mount my 360 cam just about anywhere. my Action 5 cam just about anywhere. This little cage I also recommend, and this is gonna allow you just to clip on your camera for vertical or for horizontal with just the snap of this little button there. So that's pretty solid. Definitely recommend getting the cage. Now I also have the DJI microphones which pair up to this camera. Super simple, super easy, and you know, you just set it and pretty much you're good to go. And what's also cool is that you can see your microphone levels on the camera when you're recording, so you know that it's on, and then when you're getting to the red. Now if you want that crispy cinematic footage, I definitely recommend you getting some of these bad boys. And now these are filters, and everyone describes them as lenses, like sunglasses for your camera, and you just plop them on just like that. Now I have a bunch of different ones here. I have bought the official DJI filters as well as just some off-brand, but I recommend just getting the off-brand. I really can't tell a difference between the DJI and the DJI were a lot more expensive. Plus I've broken a lot of these because my camera might fall, boom, and the good thing is you can just, you know, replace it. I've also broken this little camera right here, this little glass lens here, but for 30 bucks, you can just buy a new one, screws right on. So that's what's really cool. You can break things, but it's very replaceable. Now that's gonna go as well for the Insta360. These little glass lenses right here are replaceable just in case you do break them. Now you're also gonna wanna get memory cards. Both of these cameras use little micro SD cards. And if you wanna be able to record a lot of footage, you're gonna need some high gigabytes. This one is 512 of V30. It's pretty solid. And that is another benefit to having cameras. Your phone can only record so much. So by having these memory cards with a lot of storage, you're able to record, you know, various events and be okay. And last but not least, but of course, I use my phone as well. But I didn't really mention that there because we all have phones and we all use our phones. All right, guys, so overall, that's how I record my gig logs and Instagram footage. You know, I can't say enough about these cameras. I definitely recommend them. And of course, if you can use my affiliate links below that no added cost to you, that would also help out the channel. And if you have any other questions that I didn't, you know, cover here, please drop them down below. All right, other than that, don't just watch the party, be the party. Peace.